Hello, Atlantia.
Hola, Atlantia.
Hope everyone's had a great weekend. We have. We took the opportunity to recharge our batteries and get away for a little bit. And now it's Sunday night. We've got a lot of information to share with you and look forward to our little chat. And then we'll see each other in the coming weeks pretty soon here. So why don't you start by finishing up Kingdom A&S from last weekend?
Absolutely. So we had one final competition and challenges that actually occurred after court, so we weren't able to give the winners then. But this is the Bardic Scribble competition. There were 8 teams that competed, and the winning team was Magistrate Iselda de Narbonne and Lady Karen Raven. So excellent. Congratulations to them. I'm certain, knowing both of their work and their talents, that it was an extremely impressive entry into that competition. Now, each of the bards, the Rose and Crown bards, also sponsored challenges as part of Kingdom A&S Festival. And Lord Hawkins' challenge was to do a period piece from the Iberian Peninsula. And there were 7 people who competed in that challenge, and that was Magistrate Iselda de Narbonne, Lady Cynthia Ann of Silver Lakes, Lady Talia de Morales, Lady Eleanor de la Rochelle, Eliawyn Meru, Lord Simon and Lady Elizabeth de Spalding, and Lady Jane Kilmeny. So vivat for people who did that. Yeah. That's a lot of people. Then Her Excellency Neshka's challenge was to perform a piece of either hope or inspiration. And she had 8 people who vied for that challenge, and that was, again, Lord Simon and Lady Elizabeth de Spalding, Lady Kira of Novgorod, Lady Talia de Morales, Fallon Brielle McPherson, Lady Harper Anku, Olam Linnea Ingen O'Kiergan, and Baroness, this is hold on, as I try not to mutilate this, Amin Ahmad Ibn Magba al-Salti al-Dawlium. Wow. I know, I think I probably said that all wrong. And then Lisbeth of Spinning Words. So again, vivat for all those people who competed in the challenge and helped to make Kingdom Arts and Sciences Festival, the virtual Kingdom Arts and Sciences Festival, a success.
Yep. All right. So that was great. And we sat in and heard, I don't know if we heard most of it, but we heard a lot of it. Bedtime comes early for the king and queen sometimes. Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is reopening. So I don't know how closely everyone's been following the information on the official Kingdom sites, but we have reopened at Atlantia for quite a few activities. And I just wanted to take a minute and kind of not be very medieval here, but just make sure everybody knows where to go and find the information and where to go with questions. So first, I'm going to take you to our handy dandy Kingdom of Atlantia webpage.
Our website.
First thing you see is the second banner down is reopening of Atlantia. That takes you to this page.
There you go.
Mm-hmm. And on here, you'll see that there are basically different links for each activity. There's a first one is in there. It's the policies of the kingdom that the Seneschal has put out, and then there after that, the next one down, which I'd like to be able to show here.
I know. I'm trying to get it to come up.
Is what is the opening status for the different baronies within the kingdom? Then we have various forms that are required, your sign-in form, your COVID form, all of that kind of stuff is in there.
Here you go.
So all of these are in here in Adobe files that you can access. What I wanted to do was just click on it, the Seneschal's form. It walks through what are the policies and how do we interpret the different standings. So you say, well, what are we? Where are we within Atlantia? Here are the phases as of yesterday. These are the different baronies. and anything in
And cantons.
and cantons. But you can see here which groups are at phase 0, which groups are closed. And then when groups move into phase 1, you go back and reference the seneschal's document. It'll tell you what activities are allowed in these different phases and how many people, whether they're indoor, outdoor, all of this type of stuff. The status of having minors there or not. The final one I want to make sure to take a look at is the Earl Marshal has done a COVID for doing practices, because with this reopening, we can now have practice, whether it's rapier, whether it's archery, whether it's heavy weapons, whether it's steel, any of it, as official practices, as long as we follow the procedures and policies in here. And he's written a supplement to go along with that for particularly for the marshaled activities. So I would encourage you all to look at it. Now, what does it mean when something's official versus unofficial? Unofficial, you can't advertise on an SCA website. So Kingdom of Atlantia, Mary Rose, these are out of bounds for unofficial events. So it's harder for people to know what's going on. Official, that can go right in there. Official can also get put into the Acorn with the timing and stuff of that. But as this changes periodically, sometimes we find that the online updates are the quickest way to reach your target audience, so to speak. If you live in Kingdom lands and you don't feel like these groups represent you, contact one of the regional seneschals or the Kingdom seneschal directly for some guidance on that. And if you have a question about that in any more detail, once again, that's your right contact people for it.
Now, remember, this is the reopening for activities, official activities, not in-person events.
The board has not allowed us to open up for events at this point. I think we're going to receive guidance on that with the April board meeting. Once again, the board has reached out and asked for comments from the grade officers and from
the
crowns, and I'm sure they would take them from all of the populace and anybody else who has opinions, but about what the reopening looks like for the end of May and how should that be managed. So that we're getting closer to it, and this is a step that we're doing here within the kingdom of how are we getting ready to do these type of events and in person. So I know it's a lot of words looking at computers, but
there are a lot of documents to go through. It's not light reading.
But no, it is. I think you're incorrect there, Your Majesty. This is really very simple. And the people who have gone to the effort to say, hey, I went there, it's really pretty straightforward what we can do and what we can't do. A lot of work's gone in to make it really simple. And I think 15, 20 minutes with that website and that information, and you'll feel pretty much empowered to know what you're doing, or you'll have a reasonable set of questions of how you move forward with it. So I don't want to scare people away from it. I think it is pretty simple. I understand it.
It's not contracts. I mean, I wasn't saying that.
Okay. Your turn.
Yeah. So our schedule moving forward, our next place that we will be at or court that we'll be having is the investiture of Caramare, and that is next weekend, March 20th. That will be virtual. The next weekend, March 27th, we have court at Defending the Gate, and that is also the investiture of Stierbach. And we plan to hopefully be in Stierbach for that, as long as the numbers stay good. The next thing, we'll be doing a virtual court, and this will just be a virtual royal court. There won't be a virtual event associated with it. And we will be having Valencia Court at Castel de Zativa, and that will be April 10th. And then after that, the next event, we actually hope to have an event, which is Crown Tournament, May 1st.
So with Crown, we're working this week with the great officers that have the responsibility for administering Crown Tournament, and the Crown and the autocrat for putting together a variance proposal for the board for allow us to have Crown Tournament the first weekend of May. So we're very optimistic about it, and we're hoping that things stay right and we'll be able to get our variance. This has a couple benefits for us. One, we get heirs. Two, we get back on the right rain cycle. So this would be the normal time to have a Crown tourney. and then we could transition and stay on schedule the rest of the time like that. It'd be easier. So we're hopeful for that. We'll keep you updated on it. It might take a week to hear back from it. Normally doesn't take that long, but I think there's a lot of activity going on, getting ready for the April board meeting and that sort of thing. So for us, that's where we are with Crown. We're really looking forward to it. We're going to hopefully do a good job now. One thing about Crown will not be an in-person event that's open to everyone.
That's right.
Crown will be open to the participants who have letters of intent in, the required officers that need to be there, and a skeleton crew to run it.
Staff, right?
We will, of course, video it. We'll put it out there. People can see it. If we're successful with the variants, we'll have a virtual court at it, and invest the prince and princess. So, but I don't want you to think that it's going to be let's all get in the car and drive to Crown as a kickoff. We can't do that until June, until things reopen.
Right.
So, and we don't have a fixed schedule for that for society. So, working towards it. Okay, so that's Crown. Another thing, we have a lot of job openings right now in the web minister's office. As we've been doing more and more things virtually, whether it be university, whether it be Crown events, whether it be baronial events, whether it be teaching workshops, whether it be fighter practices, whatever it is, it's a small number of people within the web minister's office that have been tasked with making all of this magic happen. So they're looking for people to come work within the web minister's office. If you've got experience, that's great. And that would put you to an early assignment, I assure you. If you don't have experience doing the type of work that we're talking about, they're willing to train, and they're putting together training courses for it. So the individual person within the web minister's office that's handling recruitment and training and positions like this is Baron Cormack, and you can reach out and talk to him directly, or you can send a mail to the web minister's office and let them know you're interested and give them your contact information. But please reach out, help. Think about how long vigils go on. Think about the activities that go on Friday night, and then a court on Saturday. And then as we start rolling in and having fighter practices and things like this, people are going to want to start sharing that. And then there's artistic classes that as people start gathering outside of university, there'll be other seminars that people want to have and do. So our ability to broadcast, put things out on YouTube, maybe they're not all live, maybe they're recorded, but the ability to work with that and continue to reach out and let people see what we're doing, participate with the groups that they want to participate with, it's just hugely valuable. So if you've got any ability or you've got interest, please reach out and let them know.
I could use the help.
Yep.
So last, our call out this week. So along those lines of talking about IT in the web minister's office, our call out this week is to Lady Colette Vitalis. She has been managing all the vigils.
She's been doing a huge workload, and she's a lot of times done it with very little notice and always done it with a pleasant smile. So we appreciate that. And a lot of the things that we've been doing would be impossible without her support.
Absolutely.
So, thank you very much, Lady Colette.
Thank you, Colette.
All right, Atlantia, that's what we've got for tonight. I know maybe a little bumpy. That's probably because we didn't have our SCA hats on all weekend. We took off a lot of the weekend and didn't do that. So you guys have a great week, and cheers. We'll see you this week at Care Mayor's Court.
Have a good night, Atlantia.
Bye-bye.